It's that time of year again, and ice fishing is in full swing. And whether you're watching this because you're new to ice fishing and you want to learn the ropes, or you're just looking for a few pointers to help you and your kiddos catch some fish during this winter break, then I hope you stick around, because in this one, I'll be hitting 3 local lakes, explaining where the hot spots are to find fish and what lures and baits you can use to catch those fish. I even have an unexpected guest show up in search of some fish of their own. If you're just getting into ice fishing, then I made this video specifically for you. So before I even start packing up my stuff to go fishing, there's something that I do that's, I think, one of the most important things for any type of fishing, and that is researching the lake, especially if it's a new lake. And by researching, I mean going and looking at the bathymetry of the lake, which essentially is the mounds and valleys, what is going on underneath the water structure-wise. A good website that you can go to for free is called iBoating. To show you what I'm talking about, this is what I'm referencing. These lines here. Getting to know how to read bathymetry and utilize it appropriately will tremendously increase your odds of catching fish. I've since moved on to an app called Navionics, and that is something you can find on your phone. I will primarily be looking at Navionics. When you're looking at it, you're able to drop pins on certain locations you catch fish. It has a GPS mode, and it is an absolute game changer. Before even getting on the ice, I highly recommend spending some time figuring out how to read these contour lines, and then figuring out what spots on the lake you want to hit, so you're A, not wasting a bunch of time, energy, popping holes everywhere, making the place look like Swiss cheese, and B, just are able to have that ability to fish a location, know if it's working or not. If not, you already have a second spot, third spot dialed in that you can immediately go to. You're not just kind of guessing. That's my 2 cents on your pre-game prep. Let's get back out on the ice and get a little fishing in. So now that you're caught up with how and why I select locations that I do, let's get to talking about this first lake that I'm fishing. This is Mirror Lake. And Mirror Lake, woo, that was a good crack. Mirror Lake is located just between Anchorage and the valley. Fish and Game stocks this lake heavily. It looks like in October they stocked this lake with just over 6,500 fish. Oh, there we go. This lake doesn't only have stocked fish, it has these guys as well, which are known as blackfish. There we go. These little guys are native to these lakes, and by these lakes I mean shallow lakes, see dude, that have kind of muddy bottoms. That right there is a pretty typical blackfish. I don't think they get much bigger than about 5 inches. A great go-to bait for this lake is eggs. Shrimp works well. Shrimp works anywhere on anything. For ease, plucking one of these little red eggs on and sending it down the hole seems to work on getting both those blackfish, which are fun for the kiddos to catch, and these stocked salmon. We got the blackfish out of the way. Now let's see if we can't find ourselves a couple of these landlocked salmon. Either way, that was within 5 minutes of fishing. Already got a fish on. Not any world records, but if you're looking to just get into it and say checked ice fishing off the list, that's not a bad way to start. Even picking out this location, I picked out a spot that was sitting next to a ton of holes. Seeing where people previously fished is always a good indication that you're probably going to run into some fish. Oop. Also, take note, we got an airplane taking off, so be mindful of where the runway is when you're setting up your ice fishing tent. Here we go again. We got ourselves another blackfish, but I'm interested to see where these salmon are. As the year goes on, it gets later and later from the time of Fish and Game putting those fish into the lake. It gets harder and harder to catch these fish, because the reason Fish and Game stocks this lake so heavily is due to the fact that people hit this lake hard, typically the retention rate on the fish is pretty high. Along with that, as the winter goes on and the oxygen level in this lake gets depleted, the fish die off. This is not a deep lake. I believe the deepest part of this lake is somewhere around 11 to 12 feet. So once you start having ice encroaching on the depth of this thing, fish kind of run out of places to go. When you fish this lake, fish it early for a better success rate. Let's keep looking for those salmon. Sun's coming in hard from over here. It is an amazing view. It is also wrecking the video. Patch that up. We are on to 3 blackfish. And if you guys may or may not notice, but we now have a 3rd hole in the shanty. And the reason for that is because I was gonna put the old GoPro 8 down and get some sweet underwater footage. Ended up not hooking on to the ice cleat and sunk right straight down into the hole. I'm going to see if I can catch something besides blackfish and salmon and attempt to makeshift some sort of hook to get back that GoPro setup. I'm gonna take the biggest treble hook I can find off of one of the lures, a nice cannonball weight, and see if I can get back that 3rd GoPro. This fishing trip just got way more interesting. Guys, I think I actually got it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Huh. Got tired of catching them little blackfish. Figured I needed to up the ante a little bit. That's the sweetest catch that I've made all year. Always interesting fishing with this guy. Oh, yep, sweet. There we go. Something besides your blackfish. Pretty standard stock size little landlocked salmon there. Wonderful. Utilize the hole and get you going, my dude. Yep, see you later. All right, perfect. That works out wonderful. Able to show you both species of fish. The salmon that they put in here do get a little bit bigger. I think they max out at around 12 inches or so. Takes them a minute for the scent to be found. I'm assuming shrimp would work better than eggs. What always works is these LED blinking lights. I've had more fish even today come up and hit this light over the eggs. Now that I got both those species of fish on film, I'm gonna wrap this up and I will see you guys over at lake number 2. So the lake that I'm at now is Sand Lake. This lake is located in Anchorage. I don't do a lot of Anchorage fishing. I have been able to pull fish through the ice at Sand Lake. There are other critters that came through the hole as well, which was quite a surprise. Just sitting there like, what?
Is that a muskrat?
Fishing game will stock char in this lake. They will also stock rainbow trout in this lake. There's a sign over here talking about pike being an invasive species. I'm not 100% sure if these fish are in this lake. That is a possibility as well. My recommendation for the best opportunity to catch fish would be to go onto Fishing Game's website and see when they most recently stocked certain lakes. But for now, I'm comfortable with this lake. I did my research on this lake. I'm going to get everything loaded up into the sled and hike out to that predetermined spot that I found on the maps and start popping holes. I'll see you guys out on the ice. So we're finally fishing. One nice thing about this little guy, when I want to move it, all I gotta do is just pick it up and walk it around like a turtle shell. Turns out Navionics does not have this lake mapped out, which for whatever reason, I would have assumed it did, but that's what you get for assuming. I fell back on my basics, which I spoke about earlier, which was researching the map prior to getting here, looking where the holes were. I believe I'm fishing in a depth around 14 feet here, which is pretty deep. We'll see. I might move that way a little bit. I know that this lake holds char. I went and looked at Fishing Game's website and saw that they had released in the end of October around 123-ish inch char into this lake. Out the door, in a little deeper water, I have the mouse trap set up with a hunk of shrimp on it and the light. I believe I'm sitting in around 25-ish feet of water there. See if there's any fish that want to come in and play. If not, a good rule is you fish for 20-30 minutes, and if you see absolutely nothing, then you probably should move. I took my own advice, fished for about maybe 15-20 minutes, realized I don't have a lot of time, moved locations. Guys, if you really want to get fish, dude, how lost are you? and why are you in this hole? Ah, there he goes. Muskrats are a real problem here at Sand Lake, turns out. I am in extremely shallow water. I'm gonna move out. Oh, there's a fish. There you go. Oop. Shrimp. This shrimp's a little too big. There you go. There's the size of them. Nice, standard, stocked rainbows. Oh, that's a bigger one. Oh, gosh darn it. Dude, what's your problem? This isn't your hole. This is my hole. And now I'm afraid you're wrapped around my line. What are you doing? Are you just super confused? Yeah, you're in the wrong place, my man. I'm gonna move this line so I don't end up having to deal with you. Oh, gosh darn it. We gotta figure out what's going on with this muskrat. I'm gonna move this that way about another 15 feet. Hopefully we'll get out of the range of this muskrat, because this guy's a real mess. There we go. Oh, boy. That's good enough for me for fish on film, I think, with the shrimp. It is well documented that shrimp work great for these guys. So, if you guys don't want to use bait, if you guys want to use something else, a wonderful little minnow replica is this Gitzit Minnow. What this little Gitzit Minnow represents is a distressed stickleback. And a stickleback is the bait fish of trout. So there we go. We got one out of the water, guys. We got a muskrat out of the water, and we got ourselves a baby trout out of the water. Boop. Nothing big by any means. I'm glad we got fish finally. So the Gitzit does work. I've had it work great for me, for multiple species of fish. Seeing as this lake, holy, that guy came out of nowhere. There he is. You guys get to meet him. This is Bob. As stated, once you get the location dialed in, what is that, 2 fish in about 90 seconds? Nothing large, but the kids would be having a blast right now. See you, bud. I'm gonna keep jigging, see if I can't pull up something a little bit bigger. Oh, that one's a little bigger, and that's because it's a char. There you go. There we go. Nice little 12-inch char. So we got ourselves a couple trout, and we got ourselves a char, and both caught on the Gitzit, not the shrimp. So that's a plus. You do not need to go buy shrimp if you want to catch fish. Well, that didn't take long. The big ones came in. Awesome. Oh, crazy. There we go. Definitely a stalker, because it looks like a football. But that's good trout. Bear with me. That's the trout. The old missing fin and football shape is a for sure that this fish is a stockfish. It hit like an absolute missile. Yeah, go, go, go. It is out of here. That's good. Stockfish or not, that was a good trout. That right there shows you if you are interested in ice fishing and you come to this lake, you do have the chance of getting something that isn't a bait fish. Alright guys, I think that Sand Lake proved its point. You can come here, you can catch fish. Shrimp works wonderful. You can also catch fish on soft plastics. The biggest fish from the lake was also on the Gitzit, so that's cool. And I got to hang out with my buddy the muskrat, who I haven't seen in quite some time. Always a chance of that guy popping right in through your hole. Other than that, for Anchorage lakes, there's a few of them. Sand Lake seems to be very productive. You yourself will either be able to get into some fish or you can get the kids into some fish. I'm going to pack this place up and I will see you at the final lake. Man, that was a fantastic sunrise. Right until the time the old GoPro took spill, but that's what they're built for. New day, new lake, and the lake I'm on today is in the valley. It's a great, great option for all fishermen. There are big fish in this lake. There are tons of fish in this lake, so there's an opportunity, even if you are a beginner, to get yourself into something that is of size. For everyone that's stuck around to this point, I'm doing a little bonus footage, and I'm going to show you just how the Navionics app works. We're going to pop some holes on some certain structure that I've been looking at and see what kind of fish, if any, I can pull up. The lake that I'm on is Matanuska Lake. It's a big one, it's a deep one. So I'm going to continue walking out to spot number 1. I will see you there. So I made it to the spot, which I feel like would be a good area to start. And the reason is there are two very deep holes here to the left and to the right, and fish are going to want to come over these holes and hang out right here and feed. Another way that I know that this was a good move is because right where we're at, somebody popped a hole. So other people are thinking the same thing. My plan is set up the jaw jacker here with some shrimp, and then we'll go over here in that area and set up a hole and jig. Maybe we'll go over here. We'll figure it out. But for now, pop a hole, get the jaw jacker going. Look at this view. Oh boy, I think it went off. All right, bear with me. This is when I always lose fish. I'm gonna set this stupid camera up. Ah! Let's see what it is. Ooh, perfect. There we go. Ah, and it flew off. Yeah, little trout. That's probably a nice healthy 14-inch trout on the old shrimp. I'm excited. Forget the bank fishing. We're fishing right here. Navionics works. Point proven. Let's get this tent going. Wow. Instantly proves the point, right? The reason that you need to go and study what a bathymetry map is and how to read the contours of the lake is invaluable. I found a spot I had never fished, popped a hole, put a piece of shrimp down, and within 3 minutes had a very nice trout. We're gonna sit here, see what other things this place can produce. Gonna put a piece of shrimp on so we can get our numbers up, and then from there, I'm gonna put on something that will glow. If you can't tell, this ice is perfect. It's like sitting on a piece of plexiglass right now. So if we are to get a big one, man, we're in for a show. I cannot wait. It's so rewarding when a plan comes together. Here we go. Get it, buddy. Yeah, easy. A little salmon. Got a little salmon. Boop. Perfect. Of the species of fish in here, one is a landlocked salmon. Pretty standard size for these guys. Look, see you, bud. One fish on already. I don't feel like rebaiting every 40 seconds. I feel like this is going to be a good spot. Let me switch out lures. I'll show you what I'm going to put on. I'm going to add on these little jigs from a company here called Gyro Lures, which I have some pretty exciting news about down the road. But for now, we got fish biting, and we're going to test these things out. They are supposed to glow like the moon. Let's see what these paired with little shrimp gel can pull up out of this lake. Super excited. Ooh boy, glow works good, guys. Glow works good, man. Oh yeah, it's a good looking char. It's a good looking char. Perfect. There we go with the glow. This guy off the hook. Pretty little fish. Get him back in the water. Wish it was more colorful like the spawned out ones. Easy, buddy. There you go. See ya. You can even see him taking off. Oh boy, I am so excited for what's up and coming here in the next couple months with these lures. And the fact that they caught a fish in about 3 minutes is even better. We have a landlocked salmon and we have an Arctic Char. To anybody that's still sticking around, A, thank you. B, I hope that the little explanation of how to properly use one of these apps that I had mentioned earlier helped to show you guys just how to read the contour lines of these lakes, possible places that fish might be holding. What we've gone over so far, shrimp is king. Shrimp will catch anything, anytime, anywhere. That old Gitzit, which is one that I truly like. That one is a go-to of mine due to the fact of how well it mimics one of those stickleback that I was talking about. We have now moved on from that to this soft plastic, which there's tons of different soft plastics out there. This gyro lure is working well. But other than that, Matanuska Lake. This is a lake that has abundant amount of vegetation and allows this lake to not get kind of stagnant in the winter. The fish thrive throughout the entire winter in this lake. Oftentimes you'll see the bite deteriorate as the year goes on due to lack of oxygen, getting colder, all those things. Typically the lack of oxygen really wrecks fish's lives, but if you find a lake that's got a lot of vegetation, that helps kind of pump that oxygen back out. That and a creek coming into and out of said lake, those two things will definitely help keep oxygen levels up as the winter months continue on. We've actually got 3 fish now. We got a trout, we got ourselves salmon, and then we just caught that char. I have caught some very nice fish out of this lake, so they are here. But yeah, that's Matanuska Lake for you. One that I would definitely check where people have popped holes. That's a good go-to as well. If you have none of the other resources I said, you show up and just kind of see where people have been fishing. The thing that's a pro and con is a little bit of a walk down here. The positive of that is sometimes physical labor deters people. Anything that has a little bit of extracurricular activity involved prior to the fishing kind of weed out some people, which is a benefit. Let's focus on the fish and not the talking so much. Problem is, oh, there we go. Never mind, I'll just stop talking. Ah, sweet. What do we got? What do we got? We got ourselves little trout. Give me that. Give me that. Easy. And they're so feisty here. They just got a lot of energy. So nothing huge, right? Just a little 8-incher, but there we go. So that plastic has now picked up a trout and char, and I've seen salmon down there just battling it. I hope you guys are getting some out of this. If anything, comical relief from a muskrat and me dropping a GoPro down one of these holes. All right, I think this will be the trifecta of fish. These salmon fight so much better than the rest of them. They're tiny, but you know that they're on. Yep, sweet. So there is a nice little landlocked king. There you go. You can see these black marks right there on their back, but that's how you can tell these fish are the kings. They got these black spots on their back. They'll have a black mouth as well, and they will look like a little bloop. Don't eat that again. Silver bullet, and they will fight like a son of a gun. Oh, look, there's a second fish coming up. See the action. Oh, it's a baby salmon. Just a baby salmon. Let's keep it going. You are so tiny. What are you thinking, bud? I am going to tip this thing and put just the smallest piece of shrimp on this jig. There's one right there. Eat it. There you go. And got him. Looks so much bigger down there. Here, where's the big ones? Come on, stop dancing. Salmon, boom. Trout, boom. Send something down there without. See what happens. Oh yeah, they're loving it. Boom, there's another one. You get the picture, guys. This lake is fun. Oh shoot, what's that? Continuous rolling, bam, bam, bam fish. We're gonna go for number 4. Oh gosh. It's like tuna fishing right now. Back in the hole, back in the hole. Yeah, this thing doesn't even have the opportunity now to get down there before something's tagging it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Good grief, man. Boom. Salmon. There you go. See you later. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself, right? Just rapid fire. Bam, 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 bam. So if you're new to ice fishing, if you are bringing the kids out here, even better. The amount of laughing that would be going on right now would be crazy. And slip, trip, falls, because there's no mat. No. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why too easy. There we go. Another nice char there. That's that char. Not a bad fish. They get much bigger in here. Thank you. In the hole. See ya. That's kind of it, guys. Those are the 3 lakes. Those are the lures that I use, and that's kind of how I go about doing business. I hope that that helped you. I hope that you guys go out this winter break and get some fish, and I hope that your kids have a blast catching something. The most important thing is not the size of the fish for the kiddos, it's the amount of fish. And when you're pretty much tuna fishing like I was doing earlier, they themselves will be hooked on this. I hope that that was somewhat informative for you guys. It's time to wrap it up. It was a great day. These were 3 great lakes. If you guys see me out here, come say hi and let me know how you're doing. And if anything, I can maybe give you some pointers, hopefully. Or you can teach me something. I don't know. Anyways, gosh, this ice is awesome. All right, I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.